Hey guys, and welcome to another Hollow Knight tier list, and since I had so much fun making the last one, I figured I'd do another. So, yeah, let's get started. And if you don't know what a charm is in Hollow Knight, then I don't know why you're watching the video, but yes, that is what I'm making a tier list on. And this is opinion-based. I'm not going to make it on what are the best charms, even though I'll probably put the better charms in the top anyway, just because I like them more. I'm just putting my favorite charms. This is an opinion, as I'm trying to say. Don't get mad if I put your favorite charm in a D tier. Or F tier. I'll probably make an F tier. Alright, let's start things off at the top, and we have Dream Wielder. This is kind of an obscure one. I think all it does is make your Dream Nail work faster and gather more soul, I think. Which is really useful. One thing I do remember about it is it only uses one charm notch, which is really handy for specific situations. I'm putting it in A tier. It's a really cool charm, and it's useful in specific situations, and I like the concept, and it looks kind of cool too, so I'll give it that. Next is Dream Shield. I like Dream Shield, but I've never found a real use for it. Unlike this one, the Dream Wielder I found a use for. Dream Shield, I've never used it myself. I know it blocks projectiles and it deals damage every once in a while, but from what I remember, it takes up a lot of slots. So we're not going to use that. Alright, next. I think we have the different strengths. Are these unbreakable, or are they... Okay, these are fragile strength. Fragile strength, the health, and fragile greed. They're all... Actually, no, I'm going to put fragile greed above these two, and here's why. Fragile charms break when you die, which makes for boss fights almost useless, unless you're doing a Steel Soul run, and I don't do many of those, so yeah, they're in D tier. I should make an F tier, shouldn't I? Add a row. Wait a minute. No, I did that wrong. There we go. Okay. F tier. F. There we go. F tier. So I actually want to put Fragile. I'm going to put these two down there, and then Fragile Greed here. The reason why Fragile Greed is better, it's useful for farming for money early game. And as long as you don't die while you're farming for money, then you don't break it. So you just don't wear it. There was no reason to wear that to a boss fight anyway. Alright, next, this one. This is the Minion. I don't remember the exact name. It summons, like, the little things that fly enemies. I am not sure about this one. I'm not leaning either way. I'm putting it in C tier. Or maybe a B tier. No, C tier. I'm not leaning either way. I'll put it above Dream Shield, though. Because I remember it has, like, the thing where it works with Dung Defender Metal, which is kind of cool. Alright, next, Grimchild. Grimchild is a cool one, just because it's you get it from the NKG fight, which just makes it kind of neater, I guess. And it deals a lot of damage. It's my favorite of the, like, pets things, I guess. Next, what even is this? Alright, apparently after a quick Google search, it is Heavy Blow, and of course I don't know what it is, because all it does is cause more knockback. Not sure I like that. It doesn't even do more damage, so I'm putting it in F tier. Hive Blood. Hive Blood is another one like this charm, the Dream Wielder, where it doesn't really... It shines really well when it's useful in, like, the White Palace, where you need to heal, so you can sit still and wait for your... what it does is it automatically heals you every once in a while, which is useful, but it's not... I would not put it as high as Dream Wheeler, because it's useful in that one circumstance, and it's a pain in the butt to get. You have to go all the way through the Hive just to get it, so we're leaving it in D tier. I'm going to put it above... No, Fragile Greed can be above it. Okay. King Soul. King Soul is a useful charm. I've never used it because it takes up so many slots to use. It's a good charm though. I've seen people use it effectively. Not sure. Okay, next we're on to Hive Blood. Now, Hive Blood, I might just put all the Hive Blood in the same place, except for Joni's Blessing. Joni's Blessing gets an A tier rating, but I think the other two Hive Blood will go in B tier. There we go. I think this one actually goes lower. And the reason I'm doing this, Hive Blood is good, but it's also not. Like, you can't heal when you have Hive Blood, and there's a lot of boss fights where there's a chance to stop and heal. Normally, most boss fights there are. So, and you can't, which doesn't help at all, and once you lose it, you can't get it back. So, but this one just like doubles your health, I think, almost, which is amazing. Joni's Blessing, and then these two are just like a bigger lifeblood and smaller lifeblood, which are about the same, I think, just proportionally. So, I should probably put those together. Now, let's put them a bit lower because I never use those. I use Joni's Blessing every once in a while, but not those two. All right, Marker Pride. Marker Pride is S tier. It just makes your range much longer with a nail. Very, very good charm. I like that one. Nail Master's Glory, same thing. Nail Master's Glory is literally just, it makes your nail arts like twice or 3 times as fast, I think, the charge, which is stupidly useful for some boss fights, like Sly. I would recommend it for a lot of the Pantheon bosses, but it takes skill, but it's very useful. This is single-handedly the best charm in the game. So the reason why the Shaman Stone I'm putting in S tier is pretty obvious. It just increases your spell damage, and spells are like one of the most used weapons in the game. I guess it's not really a weapon. No, it kind of is. Probably shouldn't have used the word weapon nonetheless. It's the best way of dealing damage to enemies. It deals huge damage. It doesn't double, but it really increases it, and it is super duper helpful for later boss fights. Shape of Un, I don't know. There's a lot of charms I'm not sure where to put. I might put this one in a B tier as well, because it is super, super useful for the Troop Master battle. Because you can get underneath the bats. And I think there's a couple other boss fights too where it's useful because it allows you to duck and move while you're healing. I might actually put it in A tier because being able to move while healing is pretty helpful. Okay. Soul Eater. This is just a better version of this charm. Where is it? This one, I think, right? It's just... No, that's Long Nail. Where is the right charm? There's one charm here that is just... It lets you gather more soul. This one... crap. Soul Catcher, yes. So Soul Eater and Soul Catcher, they're the same thing. I'm putting Soul Catcher above Soul Eater solely because Soul Catcher is obtained much easier than Soul Eater. Soul Eater is hidden behind some weird walls, I think. From what I remember, anyway. And Soul Eaters also takes 4 charm slots, I think, which is a ton. Alright, next. I already put Nail Master's Glory in there, so that can stay down here. Grub Song, I'm just kind of shifting around now. Grub Song, I like it. It's a really good charm. I'm going to put it up here. Simply because it's useful. It's something that you can throw in, and no matter how you're trying to play the game, if you like to use a nail, if you like to use spells, or whatever build you're going for, you can just slap on that charm, and it'll help you, because it just gives you soul whenever you're damaged. It's also useful in White Palace for healing, so yeah. Alright, next is Spell Twister. I like this one a lot. I'm going to put it just below Soul Eater because it just reduces the cost of using spells, which is kind of similar to these two as it is. So these are just the soul boosters, basically. Actually, I'll move Joni's Blessing below all of these because these are much more useful than Joni's Blessing. Even Shape of Un, I think. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Or, I don't know, Grip Child's pretty nice. Okay. Stalwart. This is good for tanks, and that's it. People who like just to have a slap fight with any boss they come up with and don't bother dodging. Which makes it pretty useless if you're actually trying to play the game. Or certain bosses where you get hit, if you get hit once, you get hit multiple times, and he's helpful. This is helpful for that, but it increases your invincibility frames, basically. Alright, next, Steady Body. I love Steady Body. It is one of my favorite charms. I won't put it above Shaman or Marker Pride, but it is very far up there. It takes 1 slot. It makes it so your character doesn't move back when you hit an enemy, which is very, very, very good. So, yeah, I guess. Now we're on to the Unbreakable Charms, and I'm not sure where to put these Unbreakable Charms for the sole reason of how stupidly expensive they are. They are very, very difficult to make. They're probably one of the only times that you'll actually have to grind for Geo in the game, not just have to worry about collecting it naturally as you progress. And you also can't get it sometimes if you take the wrong quest during the whatever it's called, the Grimchild training or whatever it is. So I'm not sure. I might put them. I know I'm gonna put the life one in B tier because it's not as useful, but strength can go in the top of A tier because strength is very useful in the Pantheons. It just increases it by 33%, I think. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on anything. By the way, I haven't played this game in a couple months, but yeah, don't judge me if I get these names wrong. Alright, next, Boulder Shell. This is a very useless one in my opinion. I never use it. It just shields you while you're healing specifically, and the shield breaks after one hit. I'll put it above these two. Right there. No, I go with Fragile Greed. I think I'm going to move Fragile Greed up to here, because Fragile Greed is actually relatively useful for farming Geo, because you don't need to have, like, the perfect greed for it. So we're not going to bother with that. Wayward Compass. Why? This is a super, super useful charm early game, because if you don't know where you're going, it also is useless when you know the map by heart. I'm putting it there because... No, I'm putting it at the top. Because for new players, this is the charm that you're never going to unequip the entire game until you've learned the map perfectly. And that could be 2 or 3 playthroughs, like all the way through. So I'm putting it in S tier because that is one of my favorite charms. And it also is a meme charm. Everyone talks about how great Wayward Compass is. So yeah, it stays there. Alright, Weaver Song. Weaver Song gets the same treatment as, I think this is Grubberfly's Elegy, I think. They're both they summon pets, basically. And I think, no, actually I like this one better, because this one has some lore with Hornet behind it. This one just is, I don't know, it just makes small bugs. But this one actually does more things. And I think this one gathers soul as well, the Weaver Song. So that's kind of cool. Alright, next on the list is Carefree Melody. And I've quite literally never used this item in game before. I have done the way where you banish the Grim Troop, but I haven't bothered to use the charm. So I think it goes, and from what I've seen, people, like, it's either, so you either get this one, the Carefree Melody, or you get the Grim Child. So it's like a lesser version of Grim Child, and it sometimes blocks you from damage, sometimes it doesn't. I'll put it above Boulder Shell, but I'm not a big fan of that one. Dashmaster. Dashmaster looks like Sands, so it can go in the top of A tier, and it's also relatively useful too. Although I don't like using it personally, just because when you can accidentally dash up or down instead of side to side. But if you get good at the game, I'm sure it's useful. Deep Focus. I like Deep Focus. It can go there. Actually, I'll put it above. No, that'd make people angry. I probably can. This list is getting kind of messy, isn't it? Okay, well. Defender's Crest. Defender's Crest is... I'll put it here. It's relatively useful. What I like most about Defender's Crest is it has so many, like, synergies with the rest of the items that you can get. It is amazing for that one purpose. The Fluke Charm. I like the Fluke Charm. It is very cheesy. It, like, doubles the damage of your soul attack, main soul burst, and you can cheese some bosses really bad with this. So I'm putting it above Dung Defender Charm, so yes. Fury of the Fallen. This is one that only epic gamers use, because what it does is it increases your damage when you're almost dead, when you're at 1 mask, and by a ton. I think it's like 2 times or 3 times or 2.5 times. It's a huge number, a big enough number where... Yeah, but I'm bad with it, because when it activates, it makes a screen turn red, it makes your attacks red, it makes everything look really, like, it really points in your face that you have 1 mask left, and it makes me extra cautious about, like, yeah, it makes me overthink the situation, and then I die. So, but it's a good charm if you use it correctly. Like, a really good charm if you use it correctly. I'll put it in A tier. It's a speedrunner's helpful charm. Next, Gathering Swarm. Not necessary charm, but very useful for money gathering. It can go... I'm just going to slap it here, because it is another charm which I never unequipped, like, majority of my game. It is just so useful for that kind of thing. Or is this Grubberfly's? I might have miscalled that. This might be Grubberfly's Elegy. Oh no, I think I called this Grubberfly's Elegy earlier. It's a cool charm, but moderately useless. What it does is it just makes, if you have full masks, it makes your nail just have tons more range. Like, but also it makes it shoot like projectiles. It's a reference to the Link sword from not Breath of the Wild. I guess Breath of the Wild too, but just the Link from Zelda. So Not really that useful, but kind of neat. I'll put it in the top of C tier, I think. There we go. Quick Focus. Quick Focus. It can go the same place. It can go right next to Deep Focus. I'm gonna put it above Deep Focus, but it's just one of those things where it's like, meh. It's okay, but not sure how much it's actually useful for real. Okay, Long Nail go slightly behind Marker Pride because they're both just increased nail range. Marker Pride, you get more bang for your buck, and Long Nail is more or less just like slightly less version of Marker Pride. So I'll put it there. You can combine the two to make it like you can make your nail super long like that. Okay, Quick Slash. Quick Slash is very, very good. Top of A tier. No, actually, it goes in S tier. Quick Slash, it literally just increases your nail swing speed, which just makes you deal more damage. I'm putting it here. Just a very, very good charm. I almost always use it in the Pantheons. And it's not terribly difficult to get. It is a pain to get, but it's not terribly difficult to get. So it's kind of out of the way, though, so you might not find it unless you know how to get there. Sharp Shadow, once again, a charm that's useful for specific circumstances. I don't have much thought on it. I'm going to put it above King Soul and B tier because it is useful against some bosses, like Trader Lord's a good example, or NKG. But outside of that, it's kind of annoying for just normal transversing the area, any area, because you jump farther than normal. So if you're trying to do parkour when you're dashing, you'll yeet off the edge, and yeah, not good. This is the shroom one, right? Where I think you heal and then it like sends like mushroom gas everywhere. I have no preference on this one. That goes in the end of C tier, I think. I know it's decent. I'd never use it, so we're putting it there. I think this is Sprint Master, which is like a lesser version of Dash Master. It just makes you run faster. This is a charm that I never use. I only use it if I'm really running somewhere, but even then, I have other charms equipped because I'm expecting to fight stuff on my way. It can go above Hive Blood and Balder Shell, but it's not going any higher than that. No, it's going here. It is better than Stalwart, but yeah, I'm not sure. Why is there's two steady bodies too? Okay, we have two doubles. Those two. Okay, Thorns of Agony. This is a charm I've also never used. I've heard it's good. Deals extra. When you take damage, you deal extra damage. You send like thorns around you when that happens, which I think is good. I've seen lots of people use it in bosses and stuff because it makes when you take damage, it's not all bad. Bottom of A tier. No, top of mid B tier. I'll do that. Right there, because I've never used it myself, but I know it is good from what I've seen. Alright, I use those two. Unbreakable Greed. This hurts my brain. This tier list is hurting my brain to make. This is a lot more difficult than the bosses. I'm putting Unbreakable Greed. I'd call it more useful than... No. It's a nice charm to have late game, but honestly, most people won't do it because of Fragile Greed. I'm going to put it slightly above Fragile Greed because it's just slightly better, but not good, not better enough to make it worth all the money that you get from it. Because you have to farm for a couple hours to even make up the cost, or at least an hour to make up the cost of even getting this charm. So, I don't know. Alright. Oh, this one's up there too. Okay, that's another double. Void Soul. I think that's what it's called, right? I think it's Void Soul. This is hardly even a charm. It just allows you to do an ending. I'll put it at the bottom of S tier, I guess, because I do like the endings. I don't know. I'm just kind of judging the lore there. I'm not really judging the charm. So, yeah. This is my tier list. I don't know. Why did I make this video again?